Members of the National Party are here in Athenry, County Galway. We're here to commemorate and take inspiration from the resolute spirit of men like Mellows, and to show recognition for the bravery of the IRA volunteers of Galway who fought for Irish freedom. On the morning of the 8th of December 1922, Mellows faced down the barrel of a gun and went to his death. He had dedicated his adult life to Irish freedom. He was falsely condemned to death by the Irish Free State, along with 3 fellow IRA anti-treaty Irishmen. The names of these are Rory O'Connor, Dick Barrett and Joe McCreevy, who were also executed by firing squad. On this centenary, the National Party remembers the sacrifice of these men. Mellows was a nationalist from an early age. He was active in the IRB and was a founding member of the Irish Volunteers. At the age of just 24, he led the Galway insurgency against British rule during Easter week 1916, which attacked the RIC barracks in Clarenbridge and Oranmore, before taking over the town of Athenry, where we are today. Mellows took an active part in the War of Independence, with responsibility for arms procurement, and during the Civil War, with the rank of Commandant General, he was one of a number of senior figures in the anti-treaty IRA faction that occupied the forecourts in Dublin. Men like Mellows held dear the idea of Irish freedom and sovereignty, that they would fight against the odds for it and indeed die for it. Did the nationalist men and women of 100 years ago fight for an independent republic, so the political class of today could give away and sell out our country? The generation of the 1920s suffered great hardships and fought with the greatest courage. They struck the blow for Irish independence and had nothing to lose and everything to gain, which was a nation. Mellows showed fearlessness and resolute belief in his objective of a free Ireland. What is the future going to be for so many young Irish men and women when they grow up in Ireland today? The youth of today, compared to the youth of the 1920s, it could be said, are fighting a similar battle for their own place within this nation once again, but under different circumstances. They are struggling to survive and face the resistance and opposition to fulfilling their most basic ambitions. We call on the youth of this generation to assert themselves and lay claim to your birthright, and come forward and claim what's yours. The vessel for doing this is the National Party. The youth of today have everything to gain by joining us. The National Party agrees with Mellows when he said, "The Republic stands for truth and honour, for all that is noblest in our race. By truth and honour, principle and sacrifice alone will Ireland be free." On this centenary, the National Party remembers the sacrifice of men like Mellows. A yes or aye?
The only true way to honour men like Mellows and all our patriot dead is to follow in their footsteps and continue the struggle for Irish freedom and ultimately fulfil the vision of a Gaelic and sovereign island nation. Now, more than ever, Ireland calls upon her men to defend her and her people. Similar to European nations the world over, the globalist parasite regime ravaging our lands has now declared a total demographic war upon our people. The mass immigration of yesteryear has now turned into a veritable flood, as the traders in Leinster House have completely flung open our borders at the behest of the international financiers whom they serve. The mask is truly off. Military-aged males are being bussed into towns and communities throughout the country to terrorise local Irish populations, to prey upon our women, and ultimately to replace us in our own land if we allow it. But that is simply not an option. This land is a sacred inheritance bestowed by God upon the Irish people and paid for by the blood sacrifice of millions of Irish men and women throughout the centuries. We must and will defend our patrimony. This is the central duty of every Irish man who cares to call himself a man. Thus, I urge every man watching this video to get active, whether it be with your local come-in or on your own initiative. We must resist and triumph over this attempted takeover of our fatherland. If you truly revere the Gaelic heroes of history, from Brian Boru and Owen Ruadh O'Neill up to the men in 1916 and the War of Independence, you will prove it with your actions and safeguard the future of our people. The time is now. Nish, agus sin ráte chóide, leis an nollag amach rón, Christ liver fad, bear bua is their yesh arai.